Welcome to my channel, Dripping in Alchemy. My name is Starr. Today I'm going to enter into the space with a lavender incense. And I had some interesting dreams last night. I'm not going to delve into them, but the dreams told me to bring in this feather. And I'm just going to waft away any energy that doesn't need to be here, 2 on the clock there. And for those that feel like they need to cut cords, now is your time to cut cords. So we're going to set the intention of cutting cords to anything that no longer serves you, anything that will only lower your vibration, anything that isn't aligned for you in this present given moment. And cutting cords doesn't mean that you cut the positive connections with someone or something. It just means that you cut the negative away, or things that might dampen your spirit. 4 on the clock there, 4 on the clock there as well. I was drawn to. But I brought a lot of things into the space today. I brought in this little toy that I actually found in the street today. And when I was in my 20s, and for all of my life actually, but specifically in my 20s, I started to find little toys. And now looking back on my journey, I know that this is my spirit guides contacting me. So pink and green has been a theme for the past couple of weeks. I've been wearing a lot of pink. I brought in some amethyst as well. I brought in this stone that I can't actually remember what stone it is, but this was a gift from a friend, and I always see this as either 2 birds or 2 angels about to touch, about to kiss, and sometimes like a volcano and waterfall here. I brought in this gorgeous wand as well, because I think we're going to do something quite different today, and also this obsidian egg too. And there was a lot that was stepping forward before I was setting up. So I'm going to leave it quite open, but I'm going to ask for protection in this space. And there was something about bringing in black and white crystals, and I got this as a message for my own self, to make sure that you're always protecting yourself before you divinate, before you connect in, because I think that we are coming into times where everything is a lot more heightened than it once was. So, if you've been on this pathway and this journey a long time, it doesn't matter. I feel like we're having to double down on our protection and our intentions so that there is no interference. I'm hearing, the tricksters are going to be out here tricking. So just be aware of that. And I'm being drawn to share that this is a mermaid's tail that I actually painted for 201 there, a dear soul sister's birthday party, I think it was. Yes, it would have been around December. And I actually broke the fin off of this, and a family member glued it back on for me without me knowing, and gave it back to me, which was very beautiful. But I'm being drawn to this because I feel like if you resonate with being a water being, that's only going to resonate for some. Nothing is ever broken, nothing is ever lost. Everything can be made anew. And I just pulled out one of my own hairs connected to that. So this might be deep ancestral work that you're being called to do at this time. Or you might want to do some ritual, with your own DNA in their hair, if you are drawn to using your own fluids of any description, please feel free to do that. This is very much an open channel for all expressions and in the highest vibration, of course, but I feel like we are here to use what God gave us in any which way. So if you feel drawn to, then please do. But yeah, I'm not sure what today's reading is going to be. I brought some very interesting decks with me. I brought the Queer Tarot with me. I brought the oh gosh, what is it called? I'm going to have to get up and find it. Apologies. I brought in the Amenti Oracle, so the Halls of Amenti being the library of your expression. And for some of you, you might want to do some more research into the Halls of Amenti, because I'm hearing that there's going to be some deep messages in there for you. But I've also brought the, oh gosh, I can't remember what this one's called either, but there's something in that. Go back and do your research, everyone. Romance Angel Oracle cards. Wow, yeah. And the cards have just completely flipped out of my hand and nearly set on fire. That's so interesting. So there is a method to the madness, everyone. Go back and do your research before you fall into the flames. I'm hearing there's something that some of you are ignoring right now, which is very, very, very interesting. So we've got the Two of Swords. You've got the Five of Wands. You've got Strength. And you've got the Three of Swords in reverse. Interesting. For some of you, you need to go back to the drawing board, because there is something that is abundantly clear for you that is connected to the stars that you are ignoring right now. And this is about letting yourself not be afraid of what you can see in the dark. That seems like such a strong message to come through. And this is about trusting your own intuition above all else. Yeah, because there's something that is stepping towards you that is going to make you incredibly happy. And it's going to allow for you to work with others in a much more cohesive way. Because it's time to let go of anything from the past that felt like it was burdensome. And allow for you to step forward lighter of foot. That's the strongest message that is stepping forward. And for some of you, you've been lacking teamwork and a team perspective for some time, and this has been bringing you heartbreak. So for someone out there, now's the time to collaborate with others. If this has been something that you've been hesitant to do, know that you are always going to be guided to those souls that can help you and help ignite your inner child too, that I'm being drawn to here. And for others, you will know who to stay away from because you will feel it in your heart. So if there is ever a question of, can I trust this person? Are they going to be the right fit for me? Ask your heart. And I think this is why there's been such a strong call to raising the vibration of the heart space. And specifically over the past 2 weeks, this message has been coming through so strong and so clear. I have never done love readings in my life, only if the messages have come through for clients, but I've been guided to record, and that love vibration is so strong that I can't avoid it. And I always trust what is being brought forward, so I have been sharing those messages, but there is just such a strong essence of love that is waiting to be captured by the right heart. Okay, I'm understanding the message a little bit deeper. So the vibration is raised that much that only the right hearts are going to be able to align with this divine frequency of the 10 of Cups that we've got here. And it's about trusting that you've been through your worst heartbreak already. So whatever happens, you're going to know how to deal with it. And for some of you, you've been through so much, which is why you are terrified. Which is why you're being helped out, specifically in the astral realm. The Ace of Pentacles, you're being guided in the astral realm to bring you all that you're wanting to. All that you've been wanting to bring into your own life. Yeah, you've got the World here. Wow, this is such a powerful message, and I hope that it's reaching those. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep going steadily of what you've been working at, because it's going to pay off for you. Wow, yeah. And you're going to be able to share it. For some of you, I feel like this is the only thing that's going to get you through where you are right now, because it's been a painstaking process. And believe me, I hear you, and I can definitely mirror that. But it's time for an adventure with others. It's time for an adventure with others. It's time for you to be drawn to the cherries on this card too, which is a massive synchronicity in my own personal expression in life. It's time to explore with others. I'm seeing My Little Pony in my head. Yeah, for some of you, get back into the whimsy. That's where your heart lies. That's where your hard work should be put right now. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry about the burdens of others. You need to stay in your whimsical energy. There is something about being so strong right now that you need to let go of. Yeah, because you're just supposed to be having fun and being vulnerable, which is not what some of you want to hear. 838 on the clock there. For some of you, you've been terrified of this message of vulnerability coming through to you. Yeah, because you've been wanting to be the strong one for someone else, when actually they are going to come through and be the strong one for you, so that you can just sink deeper into your light. And you're not expecting this, which is why they're saying it now, because it's almost like the role that you've been used to playing is not going to wash anymore. Yeah, because you've aligned yourself in true balance already, that you've brought yourself out of the shadows, and now you're into the light. So whatever is coming in for you is going to be able to be steady and support you. And you've not been prepared for this. It's like, I'm always seeing like your teams of light were preparing you for something else, but that timeline is closed. Yeah, but like you felt like you were being prepared for more pain, but you closed out that cycle, yeah, of being upset. And you're ready for a new chapter, and you just didn't see this coming. Again, with the ponies, like unicorns, when pigs might fly is coming through. Yeah, you thought that you were going to have to live a life left out in the cold. And it's just so not the case. And it's because you know your worth now. You know your worth, and you won't let anyone or anything sabotage this for you. Yeah, the High Priestess. And it's interesting, I put out a post about the High Priestess, which I'm going to put in the community tab after filming this. And it felt very stern, this energy. And I didn't like it because I've been in quite a high vibrational, whimsical expression. And for some of you, you had to be this like very stern person for a good long time. So you thought that you were the High Priestess. And that's not a negative spin of the High Priestess, but yeah, you're just so giving and loving and like silly. And some haven't been able to see this about you, but they're going to start to see it soon. And this might feel quite vulnerable because you haven't been showing up as this person. Yeah, with the King of Swords again, it's like you've had to be decisive, you had to be hard, but you've been learning to understand where you have been, 11 on the clock there, and know what to take with you. That's a phase that you've been in right now, and now you have the ticket. And the golden ticket is a synchronicity again. You have the ticket, and you're ready to share your whimsy with others. Yeah, but you're going to feel naive in this space. It's not going to come naturally to you. But I'm hearing you've been in this before with the Lovers here, so don't be afraid. You've been in this phase before, but this is a whole new state of being. And you might still have to fight off the past energy, the past frequencies. Yeah. But you're going to know how to alchemize everything to be for your best benefit, and not just for yourself, but for others also. Sharing and community is the way forward. Yeah, but you have to let go of the past in order to move forward. And for some of you, it's going to feel like the past truly doesn't exist. And it's interesting because all the cards have been not put, well, I must have not put them back in the box the right way round. And I shuffled them already, but there were still a few that were the wrong way round. So I'm just spending some time sorting the cards the right way round. And this feels like a separate message within itself, because something you've been sorting through in the background, and you didn't know what you were doing, but you were wading through timelines and aspects of life that you no longer wanted to experience. Yeah, you've been in a hermit phase for a long time. And for some of you, I think you felt like you were going to just stay there. Yeah, you felt in a lot of apathy in this time. You felt like that was it, that this was your pathway and it's over now. But yeah, but you're walking straight into the Ace of Cups, which is beautiful. I'm going to pull from the Amenti cards now, which are an Oracle deck. And I feel quite, my third eye feels quite heavy. I feel quite tired bringing this message through for you all. So this might be your energy as well. But I'm hearing this is but a phase. Wow. I consume only my fair share. And this is what you've been doing. You've been so fair on your path. It's untrue. And I'm hearing, you know, there were others around you that didn't play as fair, and they're receiving karma. It's like the divine eye is now being shone on them. Yeah, these trickster energies within people, they just let it run rampant. And now they're going to reap what they have sown. And for some of them, they thought they'd escape this. They thought they'd escape this karma, but it's coming for them. And this is not what you wish for anyone. But you've been listening to the light and the shadow in others for some time, and you've really been having to alchemize a lot of energy that wasn't yours, and you chose to do that. But now you're going to reap what you've sown. And I think for some, you know, the karma isn't that anything bad is going to happen to them. It's just that really great things are going to happen to you. And this is going to really upset them. Yeah, because you've been keeping your own counsel no matter what. This eye, the eye of Horus here is so strong. Yeah, the eye of the divine. You were keeping an eye on things for the divine. I keep the waters pure. Yes, this is what it is. You were purifying the land, the people, the space, wherever you were. And it was part of their karmic lessons to either stick with their shadow or move out of that vibration. And most of those around you just chose to stay in their shadow. And they just let it rip, I'm hearing. They've let it rip, But now you're going to reap the rewards of that, because you didn't deserve it, is what I'm hearing. And it's interesting because I think that even upon hearing this, you don't want to receive that, because you never want anyone to truly be in pain, because you've been in so much pain. But I'm hearing this is out of your hands. And this is going to come through so beautifully for you and so aligned for you that it's actually going to make you cry. And I knew that I wanted to bring some messages through from the Rose, and I thought about the Rose Oracle deck, but I was told it wasn't that. And then it dawned on me, I think that, you know, I'm just going to bring some messages through from this Rose. And this was a representation of a dear soul sister that got married on May Day, actually, Beltane Day. And I really wanted to honor the connection of love, of unity, of promise. And for some of you, you know, that's what you're now going to receive, is this from others, because you've been given that to so many. So now it's coming back to you. And the message that I'm receiving from Divine Mother Rose is that you have always been the rose. And just because you had thorns for a time, it doesn't mean that you can't soften, that you can't be a being that knows how to... I'm receiving this notion of, you know, someone just completely unpaddling and just turning into this goo. And I'm being drawn to the Morning Dew, which is a card from the Rose Oracle deck, so I'll pop that in the community tab. But this is you unfurling, you know, to be your most vulnerable self, and people are going to receive you in kind. They're going to receive this from you, and this is the gift. The gift is that you get to soften to be exactly who you were born to be. And for some of you, you know, you thought that you could never be this version of you because it just brought you pain. But now you get to return to what you innately are. Mother Rose is saying you get to return and be the rose without the thorns. And that is also another card, so I'll pop that in the community tab. But this is beautiful, and I feel like I'm really not giving this message justice, because I feel like it's coming through to me as such a high vibration that it's actually breaking through some of my own DNA to be able to pull this through, which I know sounds extreme, but I can feel it. It's like every bit of my mind, of my chakras, my higher chakras specifically, and it's like, yeah, it's making me completely glitch out because it's such a strong vibration. So just receive is what I want to say. You might want to listen to vibrations of the heart frequencies. You might want to grab the Rose Oracle deck for yourself if that's not something that you own, by Rebecca Campbell. But this is your divine life that you now get to live. And everyone's going to witness it, because this is going to give them inspiration and hope. But also, you're here to be seen. Mother Rose doesn't want you to shrink. She doesn't want you to be boastful either, but just be exactly who you are. And don't be afraid to show who you are. Don't be afraid to soften. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. And, you know, in the right circumstances, use your discernment. But now's the time, I'm hearing. Now's the time. And there might be a lot of shadow work that happens from this reading. My readings are always a connective space with regards to energy and alchemization. That's why it's called Dripping in Alchemy, because it's not just a tarot oracle reading. We are exchanging energy. I'm helping clear your DNA, your ancestral karma, well set in present moment with you. I'm a Reiki master, practitioner of all woo-woo things and wonderful. So if you do feel the calling to work with me, how to contact me is in the description below. You can simply shoot me an email, theawakeningstar@gmail.com. Because my sessions are very individualistic, I am brought to what is worth your while and best worth for you in the present moment, so we can have a connective call. We can see where you are, and then we can delve in a little bit deeper on how I can best serve you through connecting with your teams and your past lives and everything that's been in alignment for you. And that being said, I feel like I want to tap into some past life energy for some, but this won't be for all, so please use your discernment. But I'm going to grab 3 cards, and I'm going to draw through a past life expression for you. Wow, yeah, with the third eye, I follow my inner guidance. So for some of you, you were seers in a past life, which is why you connect so deeply now. So tap into this energy. I'm being drawn to the gold busts here. So for some of you, you might want to connect with a divine feminine deity of sorts, and you might want to, you know, create a bust or grab a bust of her, a statue, a figurine, because I'm hearing she wants to be put on your altar space. And please, you know, go easy when you're divinating with regards to deities. It's not something that I have done in a long time personally, because I was in some pretty tricky spaces for a while, so I had to clear my energy. So maybe that's a personal call for myself. I give blessings, and for some of you, you were a bird in a previous life, and when you flew around, you just spread blessings to everyone that you are in contact with. You are a divine messenger of blessings. So this might be a confirmation for some of you. You've been connecting with birds for a while now. These are your blessings coming in. Perhaps you just didn't hear that calling, but for some of you, you have been a bird in a past life, and I'm hearing that you would have seen exactly this bird when I shared that message. Wow, I am humble. Oops, and I'm going to have to cover her with something. Okay, with the amethyst, because she is peeping out. And for some of you, okay, I don't want to offend anyone, but you were a worker of the night, shall we say. You were a worker in the taboo, titillation. I'm seeing like burlesque, that type of thing. Tap back into this energy, because it is you. You're allowed to be... Oh, I'm hearing some very interesting words. You're allowed to be ravaged. You are allowed to be adored. You are allowed to be seen as sexual and beautiful. And, you know, whether you're a divine feminine, masculine, they, them, everything in between is welcome here. Let me know. Oh, if someone wants you to let them know. That came through so strongly. That wasn't my voice. They were like, let me know. So for some of you, you're going to have to make it obvious to someone that you want them in this way, because they're going to have a lot of respect for you. So they're not going to want to cross any boundaries. I'm hearing they're not even going to want to touch you. So you're going to have to initiate touch in every sense of the word. You know, you're going to have to touch their arm. You know, if you're meeting them for, I don't know, a date or coffee or something, you're going to have to initiate the touch, because they're not going to want to do that because they respect you too much. So if you are someone that likes physical touch, let this person know. And, you know, maybe this is something that you are navigating through friendships too. If you want to try out being touched before being in a sexual place with someone, you know, ask your friends to hug you more. Ask your friends to touch your arm or hold your hand, you know, link arms with you. And for some, this might be a confirmation that that has been happening to you, and it's felt weird at the time, but this was the divine getting you used to people touching you, because your divine partnership is coming in for you. And I'm hearing that's going to resonate for some, and I'm laughing because that's definitely a message that I can resonate with for self. But these fingers here are just saying a lot to me. And for some of you, this is only going to be for some, so, you know, take heed and take warning of the messages. But smoking is something that you did in a past life, and you've been doing it again, because this has been helping you tap back into this energy. So, you know, be mindful of addictions and things going on past the notion of past life connection, because, you know, smoking isn't healthy, but at times tobacco is healthy for us when we're connecting in spiritually. So use your discernment, but this is just a confirmation for you. Wow, this is really beautiful. And I was drawn to the roses again here. So 3 divine roses. I listened to opposing opinions. And for some of you, this is what you're now going to do. You're just going to listen to the opposing opinions within inside others and what is bringing them heartbreak. And you're going to teach them to find the balance within what they are experiencing and what they are feeling. That is your divine curriculum for being here. You just hear people out and help them walk away from heartbreak. Heartbreak Hotel, that's a message for someone. Yeah, but your self-sacrificing days are over, with, you know, the thorns drawing the BLOOD on here. I'm not sure if you're allowed to say that. Yeah, you've bled enough is what I'm hearing. You've bled enough. Being drawn to this sacred ad, so Kundalini energy rising is being brought forward, and also eggs for insertion. I'm being drawn to here. And I watched a very sweet film last night, which is called Palion, I think it's called. And it was very much a film of the taboo. I'm going to leave that IMDb in the description, so if you feel called to watch that, you can. But it was about, you know, essentially a dom and sub relationship, and understanding that and working through the taboo in all forms within life. And, you know, this might really resonate with you. Be gentle with yourself, be gentle and kind with your body. And I feel like this might be to some that play in the extremes. You have to be kind to your body at some times, otherwise it's not in balance. And that's interesting because I've had, for a while, I've had my finger, I want to say, on the pulse of the out of balance realms within kink play. But I think there has to be balance within that space for it to be in divine order. And, you know, when I say divine order, I feel like I want to get rid of the word purity because I think it holds a lot of negative connotations. But I feel like you have to be able to give to yourself, even if you're being submissive to another. Otherwise, then it's not in balance. There has to be that divine balance for that space to exist. And, you know, perhaps if you are a being that's wanting to try out those dynamics, this is how you remain in balance with it, because you have to know how to give to you so that it doesn't cross over, you know, outside of that play or outside of that way of life in your existence. Even if your whole existence is devotion, that's the word that I was missing. Yeah, missionary. Even if, oh my gosh, so much is running through my brain. I'm trying to keep it PG, everybody, please. Even if your life's work is devotion, and this can be, we're tapping out a kink play here, even if your life's work is devotionary, you know, in a spiritual sense, you have to know how to give to self, otherwise it wouldn't be in balance. So for some of you, this is what you've been learning. You've been learning to crack open your own divine egg within you and tap into your shadow too. For some of you, you know, we can't just exist in love and light. Like, it just doesn't, that's not true. There has to be a balance of it all. And for some, you know, you haven't quite gotten there yet, but you're teetering on the edge. Yeah, titillation keeps coming back. For some of you, yeah, this is coming for you. Hot and heavy, which is really, yeah, it's beautiful to feel it and to witness it, you know, in others and come up in a reading, because I think for some of you, real divine love has been lacking for some time. Yeah, retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. And for some of you, that time is now, specifically if you relate to keeping your own counsel. Let things come to you. You will know when to step out. You will know when to come out. You will know when to show more of yourself. But right now, retreating is the way forward. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Yeah, for some, this is really going to resonate. And you're going to have to use your discernment to see whether you want this person back in your life or not. Because I'm hearing a lot has changed for them, but also for you. So this has to be in balance for yourself, as well as them, you know. It doesn't matter what they think, it has to be in balance for the two. Yeah, new love. A new person has stirred romantic feelings. And I'm being drawn back to this idea of friendships here. For some of you, you've been learning through your friendships how you want to relate in relationships to come, which I think is really beautiful. And that's definitely something that happened on my journey. My friends, you know, have always been my chosen family, but also no one's loved me like my friends have loved me, and that's not necessarily true. I have had some really great love connections in my life, but there was still something that was deeply out of balance. But I have some real, you know, deep friendships that have been with me through thick and thin, through it all, and there is nothing that they wouldn't do for me. And I'm hearing, you know, you've received that love somewhere too, so that it can now come into you, for you, for this divine union. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow for your inner youth spirit to allow for your inner youthful spirit of fun and shine. Yeah, apologies everyone, I feel like I'm literally closing down as I'm closing down this reading, because there's just been so much rushing through me all day over this divine weekend with Beltane and Mayday and the Scorpio moon. There's just been a lot of high potent energy, so please bear with me. Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life, and for some of you, this is not your addictive energy, but it's this potential person of the past or someone that's returning. So you're going to have to keep an eye on this energy with regards to them, because they're finding their balance, they're finding their feet. But yeah, I'm hearing, you know, one thing, and it can really tip them into something that isn't helpful for you. So just be mindful of that. Yeah, passion. Allow your heart and your soul to sing with joy. And even passion is a trigger point for someone in your past. So yeah, confirmation of the crows out there. So be mindful of this energy and know your worth and know what you will and won't accept, and lay down those foundation and those laws quite early on for some, because I'm hearing that they're coming from a very different expression of life. You know, maybe they've been in open relationships, etc., and that's not what you're wanting. So you're going to have to lay those foundations and see, and you know, perhaps even just test the waters to understand if that's possible. You know, compatibility isn't stagnant. It isn't just one way. And you know, perhaps this is something that you're going to do in the opposite way. You've been in committed relationships and now you're thinking, you know, would something a little bit more open be most beneficial to me? And that has to be navigated with the utmost amounts of, you know, love and respect for every being involved. So there's a lot to delve into here, for some. So I feel like we'll come back to this reading again. This is definitely in tandem with the reading that I've just filmed with regards to the troll, and that will make sense when it makes sense, but I'll tag that in the description, for you to perhaps watch after you've done this reading. But for some, you're going to watch this in real time, so go back and watch the troll reading again, because I think there might be deeper messages for you now that you've witnessed this reading. But I'm hearing that's all for today, and there were some things that I wanted to show on camera. I wanted to show 2 stickers that I mentioned in the troll reading that I put out on my bed, and I said I was very elated to be able to put stickers out on my bed and not clear them up. You know, I felt like inner child goals was one, like to make a mess and it be okay. And also I want to say chocolate milk, so chocolate strawberry milk, milkshakes is what they called, strawberry milk and vegan, so this would be plant-based, so we're gonna say that it's plant-based. And also this boy, which is like you're going to receive a gift, 3144 on the clock there, and for some of you this is quicker than you expect. I'm being drawn to listen sounds. Apologies for the sound. What have I got? Oh, okay, we got the total again. Being drawn to Greece there and new love. Interesting. Yeah, I bought a bow, which I think has come from an oxen of some description. This was from a Vivian Westwood necklace that I was gifted a long time ago, and I've been divinating with those bones for some time. I've also got, I was seeing this as a fan, but it's a cup of tea, so someone might ask you to tea soon. This might be quite a fun person. Ooh, this obsidian arrow, or is it, it's not obsidian, what's the other word? Tourmaline, black tourmaline arrow that I had as a necklace. Cutting cords, again, is coming through strong. For some that's connected to this turtle and this chocolate milk, cutting cords is beneficial, and specifically now, yeah, 2 peas in a pod so that you can allow for divine union in. And I'm being drawn to this Totoro here. Yeah, for someone that's been expecting, expect soon, expect soon. 32:55 on the clock there. But that's all I've got for you today. Okay, this little unicorn wanted to come out. I knew there was going to be one more. That's all that I've got for you today. If you would like an extended reading, please do not hesitate to reach out. We can communicate with each other through email, or in the 5D. I don't know why I feel like I want to say that. And for some of you, you're going to receive a lot more messages in your dream time. This is something you've been asking for, but I think this is going to be the safest for some of us right now. So set your divine pathway with your own counsel in your dream time. Turn the pages. For some of you, you need to write down your intentions before you go to sleep to be able to receive. There's something about putting ink to paper, scribing, to allow for your divine counsel to come in. It's like declarations, like contracts. This is you being in contract with your soul team and your soul team alone. That's very interesting. There might be something that some of you want to work with deeper, writing your own contracts with your soul team and guardians, because yeah, I'm hearing contracts matter now, and I think this is why we're being told to be very specific and intentional when we're setting in, when we're tuning in, because these trickster energies are running deep. But that's all for today, everyone. I'm a Black Girl soon. Take care.